Well. If it isn't the breakout star in the Rams secondary, Quentin, what a freaking year.
I know. It's crazy. Everything's coming into place right now, honestly.
Yeah. How much of that has to do with the Flaunt magazine shoot?
Oh man, you know what's crazy? Nothing actually. That has no correlation at all, but that was a really cool shoot. It was a great opportunity. Oh wow, look at that.
Look at
You know,
this.
trying to get into a little bit of fashion. Had some time to be able to do a shoot, and they did a great job of putting me in some cool pieces, some cool clothes, and got to express myself a little bit. So it was fun.
How does this happen?
Opportunities present themselves. If you focus, what's interesting about that
Huh.
is my parents always told me that opportunities will come if you focus on football first. Like all these, whatever you want to do in life, as long as you focus on the main thing, keep the main thing, everything else will fall in place.
It's
And
really good
luckily
advice.
I've been focusing on ball, and all these other opportunities have been presenting themselves. So as long as I keep football, the number one priority, faith, family, football, but football is number one right now. So been keeping it the priority, and everything's been falling in place.
I have my producer, Hamilton. Hamilton, I can't remember. I'm so sorry. Who was in the shoot with him? Hamilton?
Not in the shoot, but like his feature was right next to Uma Thurman.
Yeah, this is like a big deal. It's not like
Yeah,
some little like Instagram, like that's like a legit
I
publication.
know, I know. That's why it
yeah.
was wild because I didn't realize how big it was until
Yeah.
I look on the page. I'm like, oh wow, these are I saw Carmelo, Justin Jefferson was on
Yes.
there. It was big. So I was very very blessed to have that opportunity.
Quentin, what the heck is happening behind you on that dresser?
Oh, the paintings. Oh, that right there. Yeah. So
What is
you know
what
what's
and is that Halloween? What is
so no
this?
no no
What is
no
that
no.
pink?
That's
What is that terrifying pink thing?
So I'm big into anime, and action figures have been a part of my life for a long time. And actually I got the opportunity to go to Japan with my girlfriend, and we went, and they have a ton of different things over there. Like anything you can imagine in terms of like figurines they have. And so I went into a store, saw some of the cool figurines that I recognized as a kid, and ended up buying them. And I was like, that's gonna be awesome. So those are one of one, I think, and
Could
from
you bring me
Japan.
your favorite one? Could we do a little Quentin Lake show and tell on his bio? Can you bring me one and tell me about it? Sorry, I know you have
Yeah,
to shake your head.
were you talking about right now,
Yeah.
or
Yeah. I
you
want
want me
to,
to grab one?
yes, I want you to do a
All
little
right.
show,
So
impromptu show and
yeah,
tell.
let's do this. I'll take this one. This is a good one. This one actually broke, but it's okay. Just because you had mentioned the pink
Yeah,
one.
that one, it looks scary. I would not like to
So,
wake up and see that. No.
all right, cool. So this is I'll make a long story short. This is a character from Dragon Ball Z. And if you're
Okay.
into anime, you know exactly what show that is. This is a character. His name's Kid Buu. He has a lot of different forms, but this one's Kid Buu. There's a ton of different forms. He's honestly, it's funny because they call him like the NBA young boy of the show. Like he's just a
Okay.
menace. Um, so yeah, he has a lot of energy. He's kind of like very rambunctious, outgoing, does a lot of like he's just mean. And I was just like, oh,
It's
that's
he's
super cool. So
irrational and spontaneous,
exactly, irrational and spontaneous.
even
So
destroying his own body to destroy the earth. What? Okay,
yeah.
he's got a child, he's volatile,
Hmm.
retains his childish personality, becomes amused. Okay, so who on your team, coaches included, is most like Kid Buu?
Oh, wow, that's a great
So what I do, I'm a real serious journalist.
oh, that's a great question.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Cam Kinchens.
Okay, why?
Safety. Um, he just has that young spark to him. Young spark, got a lot of energy, especially when you see him behind the scenes. I mean, the dude is hilarious. One of the funniest guys on our team, especially for that young group. And had a great season last year, and is having a fantastic season this year too. But in terms of his relationship to Kid Buu, just when he gets out on the field, he definitely turns it on. volatile, like you talked about,
Yeah, I have a
rambunctious.
couple texts that say that I'm like Kid Buu based on the description that I read about childishness and
Yeah,
immaturity, but great energy.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, love that. Okay, so I'm just getting to know you. This is like fabulous. I know you're enjoying your bye week. Are you leaving at all? Or are you just staying?
No, I'm saying here, we did a lot of
Yeah, why would
traveling,
you leave,
especially with
right?
especially with traveling all the way to Baltimore and then going to London the day
Yeah.
before. I'm tapped out. So I just
What does
and
that
you
do to
can't
you,
be
that trip? So much is talked about like how y'all handled it and like Sean, you
yeah.
guys dipped in and out. Like what was your vibe on that?
I to be honest, I was messed up the day before.
Yeah, I
Like you try
bet.
and say like, oh, like I was good. No, I was the night before, the sleep the night before was rough.
Mm.
And guys were going to bed at like 12 a.m., waking up at 2, couldn't fall back asleep until 5. So it was really, really, I was messed up. Like when we landed on Saturday, was kind of loopy. And then Sunday morning, I know I didn't get a lot of rest because I was yawning before the game. Luckily, I had some energy, during the game, but it ended up working out. So, we
Yeah, you're
definitely,
literally like, what a liar you are because you're saying it affected you. And
yeah,
it literally was the best thing that ever happened to you. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. You had the most dominant game
I
of all
know
time.
it was a great game, but I don't know if that was the play, but it was the play.
Quentin,
Like you kind of question it.
Trevor Lawrence is gonna see this. And you're here like, oh, I barely slept. I was like not myself. And you like end your day with 6 tackles, a forced fumble, 2 PBUs, and this sack on him.
I know, but at the same time, you could ask anybody else. You could ask Davante. He was like, I was only on 4 hours of sleep. So, like it worked, but you could ask anybody on our team. We
All
were
right.
tired.
You guys crushed it. I do want to know,
Yeah.
even just about that play. We watched your mic'd up this morning. What did Travis Hunter say before that snap?
Yeah. So it was, you kind of it was weird because if I didn't end up making the sack, I would have looked dumb. But what happened was, it was I forgot what play. It was like first down, first or second down. He ended up knowing what coverage we were, and I was like, oof. I was like, that's rough. Anytime a player knows what coverage you're in, you're like, they might have a successful play. But I was like, you know what? Even though you know the play, doesn't mean you can stop it. And so he called out our coverage. I was like, all right, you know what it is, and what? Watch this, and what? What are you gonna do about it? And so I just said, watch this, and I ended up making a great play on Trevor Lawrence and picking up the sack. So it was cool. Those were like the moments you're like, oh man, this better work because if I say this and I miss it, or I say this and I don't make the play, I'm gonna look dumb.
Mhm. You could see Travis pointing pre-snap too.
Yeah, yeah. He definitely knew what it was. So I was a little bit like, it was a moment where I was actually so confident. I was like, I'm gonna make this play. If I don't, it is what it is. But I had the confidence I was gonna make the play.
What'd you make of Travis Hunter? Even just that or that game, that back
Yeah.
and forth. What was your takeaway?
Yeah, fantastic player. I mean,
Really?
to come in and, I think the biggest thing is he's proven everybody wrong. He's going out there and doing exactly what he said he wanted to do, which was go and play offense and defense, and he's doing it at a high level. I mean, he had what, like 8 catches for 100 yards in that game, and a touchdown. So
Yeah,
he's
touchdown.
yeah, he's a phenomenal player, phenomenal athlete, doing it on both sides. That's generational, and it truly is to be able to do that on both sides and to go through OTAs and training camp and having to learn both offensive and defensive playbook. I mean, all credit to him, and he's gonna be in the league for a long time, doing it at a high level for a long time too.
What he did on that play, knowing what was coming, right? Like
Yeah.
pointing it out pre-snap. Did he do that just that play, or did you get the sense he like knew what was happening the whole game?
Uh, so that was the one time I heard him say it, but it's interesting because, when you're in like TV timeouts or you have a little bit of a timeout, you can see offensive players talking to coaches of,
Hmm.
hey, what the defense is presenting, what coverage they were in the last play or plays before. And I had saw him a couple times and he's like, hey, these DBs are doing this, what do you think about this? And I'm like overhearing their conversation. And it's funny because one of my teammates saw that and were like, hey, be ready because they're scheming something up on the sideline right now because they were having a conversation about stuff that we were in. And for a young guy to take accountability and to be able to do that, that just shows how much confidence he has in himself and really the coaches to put himself in a position to make plays. And I was like, wow, to be able to do that year one, that just goes to show how mature he is. You know, he's already, you know, a pro's pro. And, you know, all credit to him. I was impressed because you don't see a lot of young guys saying, hey, like, you know, either give me the ball or hey, I
Right.
see something, you know, let me put myself in a position to make a play and talk to the coaches about it.
Yeah, I don't know much about anime, but is it true? Don't kill me if I'm wrong. Is
Yeah, Goku.
Is Goku like the most versatile one?
Yeah. Uh, yeah, we'll
What's
say that. Just for the
who's
purpose
the
of the show, we'll
most
say that.
who's the most versatile? No, I want to know who's the most versatile anime person
Yes.
character.
In that show, he is.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
You're Goku.
Yeah. I would say so.
You're Goku because I'm
Yeah.
looking at what your career has become. And
Mhm.
even just like so this year among safeties, looking at it right now, you lead
Yeah.
all safeties in PBUs this season.
Yeah.
Chris Shula, I really want to get into your relationship with him in a second.
Yeah.
But he used the word everything. You're everything. And I'm like,
Mhm.
well, what is, like I look, you're in the slot, obviously, playing deep
Yeah.
safety. You're blitzing out of the nickel now. Like you're a linebacker, sometimes playing in the box. Like how did this happen? How did this
My
happen?
yeah, it happened my rookie year. My rookie year, I was dealing with a lot of injuries, and
Mm,
I wasn't, you know, didn't really have a role. You know, I was just like special teams, a little bit of dime linebacker, and even into my second year, a little bit. You know, I didn't really have, you know, wasn't really playing a lot. Was just at dime linebacker, you know, doing some man-to-man stuff, and I was like, what is the one way I'm going
mm,
to be able to get on the field? And I was like, I'm just going to learn the whole playbook, learn every single spot at in the back end, corner, safety, nickel, and dime linebacker. And it's crazy because I came in as a safety, and you know, usually when you play safety, you're back there deep or you're either in the box. And I was just like, you know, I don't want to just sell myself short by only being that. I want to be able to play in so many different positions.
right.
And when I learned the whole playbook, it ended up just opening the floodgates of what I could do. And like you talked about, I was able to blitz off the edge, play man to man, play zone, play in the box, and you know back deep at safety. So it was really my rookie year. I came to a realization. I was like, I need to. How am I going to get on the field? And the one way to do that was to learn every position in the back end.
Which one do you look forward to playing the most?
Position wise,
Yeah. Like
ooh, that's a good.
when your number is called, which of the
Yeah.
roles do you like most?
Uh, there's nothing more pressure wise than being one on one.
Yeah,
Whether that's
I
in
would
the
never
slot,
want that.
yeah, you know,
Little
it's just
Kid Buu wants nothing to do with that.
yeah, it's crazy because you know in high school I played corner, so I know what it's like to be on an
Mhm.
island. Um, you know, those moments, those high pressure moments are, you know, you either pressure makes a diamond, pressure busts pipes or it makes diamonds. And, you know, having that, you know, really, really one-on-one moment where you know the ball's coming to you, like you can't beat that. There's a lot of other things you can blitz and all that stuff and, you know, play back there deep, but when you get in man to man, there's nothing like that feeling. Knowing the ball's coming to you.
Um, can you describe the dynamic between you and Chris Shula? What he's brought to you, what that's like, what,
Yeah.
maybe give him some love this morning?
Of course. I mean, you know, Chris
Your
Shula has
face.
been, yeah, I mean, I smile because I've been along with him through the journey of my 4 years at the Rams. Like
Hmm.
when I got drafted, he was the DB coach. And then I saw his progression to where he is now. So, you know, it's kind of like we were both working up the ranks. You know, he went from DB's coach to linebackers coach to then, you know, defense coordinator. And then, you know, I kind of worked my way up, you know, the same way as didn't really have a role, trying to figure myself out, got a little bit more playing time. And then, you know, here I am now. But, you know, Chris Shula has been doing an amazing job. And you look at the defense that we have now, it's like, you know, one of the top defenses, you know, in the league, but that's a
Second
credit to
ranked in
him.
scoring, baby.
Hey, you know, we won't say anything, but, you know, that's, you know, all credit to him because he's putting guys in a position to make plays.
I
Myself,
know I don't want
you
you to
know,
say too many nice things about him because we all know what happens. People just come shake that Sean McVay tree And he's already
Exactly. But he
he's
deserves it
getting
though.
I know, but he's
He
getting those
deserves
head
it.
coaching rumors.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like it's sort of a miracle that he's made it this long without getting poached. I really do.
Yeah. I mean, you look at the success that he has last year. He could have, gotten poached
Yeah,
last year and ended up coming back and, having another, very successful year this year.
yeah.
So it's been
You know what
amazing.
you know what I really love? I love that you guys. Whenever I see Coach, it's always training camp, and it's always Sean, and it's always about slow starts, and I have to be like, can I ask you about slow starts? And he's like, yeah. And it's like, he's always
Yeah.
candid. He's always wonderful. But like, I hate that it's the thing that it's like, I have to ask about this because it's a storyline. I'm so
Yeah.
glad that what's going on right now. Like, here you are, 5-2, heading into the bye that you get to enjoy with your anime stuff,
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
area, in the local area. What, in your opinion, what is like the one defining thing that has led to this turnaround and execution of this stupid narrative?
I would say the one thing that has helped us a lot is we're healthy.
Mm,
Like, I actually saw a statistic this morning about how much money was spent on injured players, and we're the lowest. We're the lowest in the whole league, meaning that's a good thing. Like, we don't have a lot of injured players. I mean, the last couple of years, like, we've been injured. Like, there's been injuries at certain positions that haven't allowed us to really show who we are. And I think that's somewhat of a credit to maybe the slow starts that we had in the past. But whenever you have your guys that are healthy, your playmakers out there that are, not nicked up or dealing with anything,
yeah.
you're setting yourself up for a lot of success. And I think that's, a great reason why the training staff, the coaches have done a great job of, allowing us to, recover and putting us in a position to have our bodies right on Sundays. And I think that's really a credit to them, but also, we're in the position that we are because we're available. Your best ability is availability, and everybody's been available so far. So
I
it's
mean,
been good.
even no Puka though. Not everybody's available. Maybe one of the best wide
That's
receivers in
true.
the league
Yeah.
hasn't been there, and y'all have made it. I would like to know Davante Adams' impact on you.
Yeah. Man, I say a story from training camp, or even earlier that when we know we were signing him, and I was like, "Ooh, man," I was like, I can't wait," because you look at what he's done to other defenders, you're like, "Oh my gosh, I got to see this in person." But Davante, I mean, you look at his performance yesterday, it was like the Matthew Davante connection finally clicked. People were talking about they don't know what's going on and this and that, and then they end up having a 3 touchdown performance to each other. Like, he is amazing. And not only an amazing player, but an amazing person. I mean, he's been on the show a couple times
I
and
love
you've
him.
been able to talk to him. He's a great dude, a
He's
great
made you
human
better.
being. 100%. He's made me better each and every day. And, we've had our battles. He's taught me things about the game of how to see it, from a receiver's perspective of, what he's looking for and the type of releases. And, there's been times where, he's got me and I got him. But at the end of the day,
Hmm.
we just make each other so much better. But, I'm great acquisition from the off season, and it's been paying off for us. So he's going to have a
Love
ton of
that.
more success, especially after, the connection that he's had with Stafford over the last couple of
We
weeks.
love that. Contract year for you, really quick.
Yeah.
Season you're having. I just put has the talk started? Less on line one. Has it, yes or no?
Uh, you know, I hope.
Okay.
I
You
hope.
hope
I
they've
hope.
started.
I haven't really divulged into that. I
Okay.
told myself before the season, everything will take care of itself as long as you
Yes.
take care of what you need to in between the white lines.
Focus on the football
You
like your parents told you, and the
Yeah,
rest will come.
exactly. I will say this. You see certain headlines, you see, extension
Yeah.
talks and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, I'm just focused on winning games, and we've been able to do that. So, all that stuff will come. You get too wrapped up in that, then I can't focus on what I need to, and that's just being the best version of myself on Sunday. So everything will fall in place. I have no doubt, no doubt, no doubt about that.
Maybe I'll see you in the Super Bowl. It means you got to get your rest now this bye week. Good luck to you.
Exactly,
So
exactly.
lovely to talk to you. Thanks for being so cool. And
Of
rest up.
course.
We'll see you against the Saints week 9.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Quentin Lake.